edition of the LSU Shreveport Student News.
Students rally in front of the UC to have their voice heard.
Comedians perform on campus for a great cause.
And the men's basketball team's magical season comes to an end.
Hello, pilots, and welcome to this edition of the LSU Shreveport Student News. I'm Sasha Anderson.
And I'm Rani Graff. This past Sunday, students gathered on the UC steps to show their pilot pride. Stephanie Lepretre has a story.
Here's something you don't see every day. Students and faculty spending a Sunday afternoon together on campus. It looks like the SGA held a picnic on the steps of the University Center, complete with hot dogs and live music. But listen.
Today, this rally is to show Shreveport that we care about LSUS, and we as students are not going to be overlooked anymore.
That's what they want legislators to hear. With all this talk about mergers and changes to the LSU Shreveport campus, some feel like their opinions don't matter. So the SGA held a pilot pride rally where students and faculty marched side by side, holding up signs to show the world that they do care about LSU Shreveport and will not let their opinions go unheard.
Who's ready to be a bulldog? Not me either. I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot. Pilot pride. Pilot pride. Pilot pride. Pilot pride. I need you all to show your pilot pride.
Some even painted the windows of their cars so that even when they weren't on campus, everyone would know that they were a pilot and proud of it. How do you show your pilot pride? For LSU Shreveport Student News, I'm Stephanie Lepretre.
Thanks, Steph. The men's basketball team finished another very successful season this past weekend. We spoke with Coach McDowell and several players about their season.
The Pilots men's basketball team returned home from Kansas City this past Sunday after competing in the 2012 Buffalo Funds NAIA Division I Men's Basketball Championship. The team made their first ever quarterfinal round appearance in the tournament. Our Pilots' impressive season ended in this round with a loss to Concordia, California. We caught up with Coach McDowell and asked him about his team's special season.
It was a spectacular season and a wonderful trip to the national tournament again. And we were pulling up, and it's our first time to arrive back home on a Sunday. So we advanced further than we'd ever advanced. So Kansas City was a lot of fun. It's been a great season.
We also spoke to some players about their thoughts on the tournament and their season.
It's bittersweet. Like, we went farther than we ever been, but we really wanted to win it all. So, but anytime you go in the tournament that you lose one game and you come back home, you feel pressure because nobody wants to come home. So, of course, there's a lot of pressure.
We always come together and we play as good as a team. And I mean, we fought for each other and we did good. And I'm proud of my guys.
Great coaches, great teammates. We wouldn't trade them for the world.
Coach McDowell expresses how proud he is of his players and the way they represented the school and the area.
I mean, I think they represented our school, our university, LSU Shreveport, and the city of Shreveport-Bossier and their families, and just everybody would have been proud the way they represented us all.
This is Josh Hale reporting for LSU Shreveport Student News.
Congratulations to the Pilots for all of their success and achievements this year.
Last week, the Student Activities Board hosted the Deaf Comedy Jam in the UC Theater. The event benefited the National Deaf Children's Society. Comedians Robert Powell, Scooby, Hot Topic, and Nate Massey were on hand for an evening full of laughs.
You come up to me and say, "Oh, Scooby, look at my baby, ain't he cute?" No, it looks like a pit bull mixed with a giraffe. I'm just saying, get the slob, he's slobbing on my floor. Stop, please.
I'm from Monroe. And y'all got stuff in Shreveport that we don't have in Monroe. Because we have standards and morals and values.
So she took all my information, she analyzed it, come back 2 weeks later, said, "All right, Mr. Massey, you said you want to retire at the age of 45. Your life expectancy is 83, so between now and the time you retire, you're going to have to save over $800,000 to live out the rest of your retirement." And I got up from the table, she's like, "Mr. Massey, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to smoke a cigarette short of my life expectancy."
That event looked like a lot of fun.
Midterms are well underway this semester. We caught up with some students to ask them how they are preparing for these important tests.
How would I prepare for a midterm? I would study, I like to study at least a week before and then 2 nights before, then, super study.
I usually study by buying note cards and constantly going over them on all the information that I need for the class.
My midterm isn't until after spring break is over, so I have all of spring break to sit around and study for a midterm, which makes no sense.
Or a lot of what I'm doing is project oriented, so I just spend as much time as I can working on those projects, reading my material, and going over the teacher's notes on Moodle, find out exactly what they expect for tests.
I try to think like the professor, because the last 2-3 months I've been knowing him or her, so just basically doing tricks like that, try to get prepared.
Like tonight, I've got a presentation, a 3-hour presentation that I've got to do, 90-minute lecture with 30 minutes of activities and assessment and everything else with it, as well as writing a thesis for education.
As for a class like economics, I'm not very good at it. So it being a 3-hour class, probably 10 hours a week at least, I would say.
Normally if I'm a soccer player at LSUS, if I don't have practice, if I don't have work, then the rest of my time is due for studying, which is pretty much college story life.
Well, students, that wraps it up for this week.
We look forward to hearing your comments and ideas for future news stories. Be sure to visit our Facebook and Twitter to stay updated on issues that matter to you.
Have a great weekend, pilots.